Lesson 27, Housekeeping and Utilities. In this chapter, we'll discuss about the housekeeping, utilities, data export, import, and miscellaneous data entry options. Housekeeping menu provides various options using which you can correct your data to a certain level. Then is the utilities. Utilities are our nice to have features. Basically, utilities provide such features which make your work more easier and smoother. Then data export import, you can export import data in busy from Excel file, and is miscellaneous data entry option. Using miscellaneous data entry options like various options provided in miscellaneous data entry, you can regularize your PDC vouchers or you can update daily messages and so on. So first of all, we'll start with the housekeeping menu. You can see a lot of options are appearing here. First option is re-index databases. Re-indexing refers to rewriting index for database. If there is any corruption in your data due to hard disk crash or virus attack, then you can use the re-index database option. Re-indexing basically frees up the unused space and it makes the database compact. Next is rewrite books. Rewriting books refer to rewriting transactions in books of account. It rewrites the books according to the changes made and rebuild the data. This is required only if you have any transaction which is entered incompletely or there is any change in the company configuration. If you select this option, then Busy will first ask you to take backup of the data, and it is always advisable to take backup of the data before using these options. Then is update master balances. Using update master balances option, you can update the balances of the masters. This option is required if the master balances have been disturbed due to any reason such as abnormal termination. You can update balances of all the masters starting from the financial year. Next is regenerate master help file. Using regenerate master help file option, you can regenerate help files for masters. Then is update voucher VAT summary. This is required if any incorrect VAT amount is appearing in your VAT summary, then you can repair it using this option. Then is recalculate item tax amount. This option is used to recalculate the item tax amount. This option is useful for tax inclusive transactions, that is the transactions in which tax inclusive sale type you have selected, like you have specified the complete item amount and Busy has segregated the tax amount and the item price out of it. So if there is any change in such transaction, then you can use this option to recalculate the item amount and the tax amount. You can see various options are provided. You can filter your transactions on the basis of date range. You can run this option for all the vouchers or for selected vouchers. So this option is useful only if you have any change in the tax inclusive transactions. Next is regenerate dual voucher. If you find any difference in the stock entry or the accounting entry, or if you have made any changes in the bill sundry configuration, then you can use the regenerate dual vouchers option. Then is check incomplete vouchers. You can check the incomplete vouchers, that is vouchers that are not entered completely. And then is check junk characters. Sometimes problems arises due to junk characters in the master's value or the voucher's value. Many times the customer is asked that why this data is not running properly and there is some problem of junk character. So you can first check these problems at your end only by checking whether there is a junk character in the masters or vouchers. If then you can remove that junk character and then check whether your data is running properly or not. So this is the housekeeping menu. Next we are coming to the utilities menu. Utilities menu is provided under administration. You can see lot of utilities are provided, where first utility is data freezing. Using data freezing utility, you can freeze your data, that is you can specify a date and the data entered before that date cannot be changed. So here we are selecting the data freezing option, then we are selecting the full option. Partial option we'll discuss later after this. Then we have specified a date. Now we will not be able to make changes in data before this date. Now we are coming to our transaction. We are opening a sales voucher in modify mode. Here we have changed the price of the item, and while saving this voucher, Busy is showing a message that data is freezed up to this date, so you cannot make any changes in this transaction. This is very useful feature. You can use this feature once you have checked the accuracy of your data and you do not want to make any changes in the data till the date data has been verified or checked. Now coming back again to the utilities menu, data freezing option. Now we will select the partial option. Using partial option, you can partially freeze the data, like you can select some series of data belonging to which only will be freezed. You can specify separate dates for different voucher type. On selecting the partial option, you can see here we have first selected the sales option. Then you need to select whether you want to apply freezing for all series or for selected series. We are selecting the selected series option, and here a window appears in which we are specifying a separate freezing date for each voucher series. Next, we are selecting the payment voucher all series, and again we are specifying the date. Again we are opening a sales voucher in the modify mode. This transaction belongs to 10th January. Busy has not allowed any changes in this transaction. Next, we are going to a payment voucher. We are opening payment voucher in modify mode. This voucher belongs to 31st January. If we want to make any changes in it, Busy will not allow because we have freeze the data up to 31st January for the payment voucher. Next is your reference management. We have again come back to utilities menu, reference management. Here first option is clear references. Using clear references option, you can clear your existing bill references. Sometimes it happens that clients keep on creating the bill references and they do not clear them. So at the stage when the references become too much, there might appear some problem. So to clear such references that you no longer required, you can use the clear reference option. Next is auto adjust reference. Using this option, you can automatically adjust reference, like Busy will check the data, the date on which the reference has been created, the party to which it belongs, and it will automatically adjust it to the another entry. Like you have entered a sales voucher, and then in the receipt voucher, Busy will check the matching data and it will automatically adjust the reference which it will find to be same. Next is bill reference adjustment wizard. Using this option, you can adjust the on account entries with the new references. Here on the screen you can see on account entries. On account entries are basically those entries for which no reference has been created. In the next grid it's showing new reference. When you drag and drop an on account entry onto the new reference, Busy will ask you whether you want to adjust it or you want to create a new entry with it. So we have selected the adjust append option, and you can see the on account entry has disappeared from the on account entry grid and it has been adjusted to the new reference. Next is block account item. Using this option, you can block an account or an item. For example, a party has not cleared its earlier dues and you do not want to transact with that party till the dues are cleared, so you can block that party. Basically, that account or item which you will block will appear in the accounts list or item list, but you will not be able to make any transaction with it. So here we have selected the account option, we have selected the party we want to block, and then specify why in the block master field. Then you want to block this account for all the transaction or for selected transactions. We have chosen the selected option, and we are blocking this account for the sales and the payment transaction. At the bottom we are also specifying a reason that earlier dues not clear. So when we will use this master in sales or payment transaction, Busy will not allow you to transact with this account. Next is deactivate masters. Using this option, you can deactivate masters, like the masters which are no longer in use. For example, an item whose manufacturing is stopped by the company, then you would no longer require that item, so you can deactivate that item. With deactivating an item, that item will not appear in the list of the items. Like while making any sales, when you will see the list of the items, the item which you have deactivated will not appear in it. So this is the case of deactivating a master. Now we are going to a sales transaction. We are entering a sales transaction. Here we are selecting the party Arshia Enterprises which we have blocked. So on selecting this party, Busy has shown the message that you have blocked this account. In the brackets, the reason is also given, earlier dues not clear. So this particular party will appear in the list, but you will not be able to make transaction with it. Next, we are opening the list for items. Here you can see the item Whirlpool refrigerator 300 liters we have deactivated. That particular item is now not appearing in the list. So with deactivate master, the master will not appear in the list. With block master, master will appear in the list, but you will not be able to transact with it. Now we'll be going to administration data export import part. Using data export import options, you can export data or import data in Busy. So here first option is import masters from MS Excel. If you have kept your masters information in any Excel file, then you can import data from that file into the Busy so that you are not required to enter the data again in the Busy. So here we are importing the item master. It's first asking add new master or modify existing master. We are selecting the add new master option. Next is item field and the Excel field. This is the mapping of the item field with the Excel column. That is, specify that in the Excel file that we have from which the data is to be imported, in that file item name is kept in A column, item Main unit is kept in B column, item group is kept in C column. So this is the mapping. Busy will know from here that A column belongs to item name, B column belongs to item main unit, and so on. At the bottom, you will specify the path of the Excel file from which data is to be imported. Starting row, ending row, that is the rows from which and up to which the data is to be imported. If you leave the ending row as 0, then Busy will import data till the end of the file. And then click the import button to import the masters. Next is import voucher from Excel. If you want to import vouchers data from any Excel file, then you can use this option. Here, first of all, we have selected the sales option, that is we want to import data from the sales voucher. Then you will create a format. For creating and configuring format, we'll click the configure button. We'll create the format. Now we'll select this button and again click the configure button. Here you can see header fields, item fields are appearing and they're mapping with the Excel columns. Similarly, if you want any bill sundry field, you can add that also. This is a default format. You can add any header field, item field or bill sundry field to it and map it with the Excel column. That is, it specifies that in the A column this particular voucher data is contained, in the B column this data is contained, and so on. Now we'll come back to the main screen. Here you will specify that add new voucher, modify existing voucher, and if you are modifying existing voucher, then you will specify the basis for recognizing the vouchers. That is, vouchers will be modified on the basis of voucher number only, on the combination of voucher number plus series, voucher number plus date, or voucher number plus series plus date. Then is create new masters used in vouchers. That is, while importing, if Busy finds any such master which is not yet created in Busy, then shall Busy create that master. And while creating that master, what will be the default fields for it, like what will be the default parent group for account, default parent group for item, tax category for item, and so on, which is basically mandatory fields. So you'll specify all these details and then you will specify whether you want to pick item data from item master, that is price, tax rate, or you want to auto calculate item amount, tax amount. Then, as we have not selected any bill sundry field, so we'll specify the number of bill sundries required and then further their details. It is what are the columns in the Excel file to which the bill sundry name will be mapped. Like, you'll specify the bill sundry name, percentage, its column, all these details will be picked. Then you'll specify the Excel file path from which the data is to be imported and click import button to import the data. Then is your miscellaneous data entry option. Using miscellaneous data entry option, you can regularize PDC, update daily messages. Many options are provided under it. First is update daily message. Using update daily message option, you can print a daily message, a message on the invoices. Like here we have specified the date, selected the voucher type as sales, and for all series we are specifying a daily message. Now valid for. If you leave the valid for field as 0, then this message will be printed on all the sales invoice till the date you next specify a daily message. If you specify a particular number of days here, like we have specified 10, then from 5th January this message will be printed till 15 January. Like for 10 days this message will be printed on the sales invoice. Next is update transport details. You can update transport details, update purchase bill number date. That is, you can update original purchase bill number and date in the vouchers. So using one screen, using a single screen, you can update purchase bill number and date in multiple vouchers. Next is regularize PDC. Regularize PDC option is used to regularize the post-dated checks. In the features options account tab, we have provided a enable post-dated check option. If you enable that option, then in the payment receipt vouchers, you can enter post-dated checks. Like, you can specify the date of the post-dated checks, and then you can regularize those vouchers using this particular utility. Here we are selecting that for one bank or for all bank we want to view the vouchers. We have selected one bank option, then we are selecting the bank, and on the screen you can see two vouchers are appearing showing the post-dated vouchers, that is the vouchers entered for post-dated checks. You can select the vouchers that you want to regularize. Then there are further many options provided at the bottom, like save PDC date in narration. If you want to save PDC date in narration, save check received date also, you want to retain that date also, then you can enable this option. Then is retain voucher date. If you want to retain voucher date also, then that will be saved in the voucher narration. And select bank name for received voucher. If you want to specify any other bank name for the received vouchers, then you can specify yes in this option and select the required bank. Now on clicking the regularize button, Busy will regularize these vouchers. So these are all options we have to cover in the miscellaneous data entry option. At the end of the chapter, we have provided certain exercise. You can view the exercise on screen and attempt it. Hope after going through this chapter, you would be able to use the housekeeping, utilities, data export import, and miscellaneous data entry menus easily. Thanks for watching. For more videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel.